Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing the Luna Bermudez Advanced Fermentation Processed Colombian Geisha from Manhattan Coffee Roasters. And there's the bag right there. And Manhattan based out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and this coffee is of course the follow-up to the ever-impressive Lady Bermudez, a coffee so transcendent that it was not just our favorite coffee we've reviewed this year, but our favorite coffee that we have ever reviewed on this channel, and a fan favorite of so many, as quite a few people have labeled this their favorite coffee that they have ever had in their entire lives. So many were eagerly anticipating the follow-up coffee and curious to see what Manhattan were going to do with it. This right here is day 27 of this coffee. And recipe for Manhattan we have 16:1 water to coffee ratio, 208 degrees Fahrenheit, brewed through the Chemex Light European for the roast profile. And with that out of the way, let's start discussing the coffee. So we briefly touched on it day 5 with the Estrebi video. So we tried both of them side by side, and we liked the Estrebi slightly more. But with this coffee specifically, yeah, the blueberry is at the very forefront of this coffee, and this is our perfect opportunity to discuss that blueberry flavor note. So they have here listed blueberry Pop-Tart. I went through 2 boxes of blueberry Pop-Tart, and I can definitely see the resemblance. But for me, the blueberry flavor note is more reminiscent of a floral blueberry, kind of like a blueberry lavender. And it reminded me of a Bath & Body Works candle, the aroma from that Bath & Body Works candle from a couple years ago. But I even purchased some like lavender blueberry tea to kind of taste, and that is a little bit more in line with what I was getting from this coffee. There's a sweet pastry taste in this coffee, so that adds to this blueberry Pop-Tart component to it. So I can definitely see it. I think blueberry Pop-Tarts are kind of mediocre, and I think this coffee is really impressive. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that blueberry flavor note. But yeah, there were some other things in this cup of coffee. There's a really sharp vanilla that was at the very forefront of this, and there's a notable kind of unripe pineapple acidity that we were getting day 5. But you kind of really have to think about that, as that blueberry flavor note is really, really dominant in this cup of coffee, that you experience it from the very forefront throughout the entire time you're drinking the cup. Day 7, we were having a little bit of a hard time discerning this because, again, having eaten so many blueberry Pop-Tarts, went through way too many blueberry Pop-Tarts, kind of couldn't say that this was exactly the same. There's a little bit of a difference, and again, that could be attributed to the fact that it kind of tasted a little bit more like a floral blueberry to me. Blueberry a lot stronger than it had experienced in day 5, and a lot stronger than you experienced from the blueberry Pop-Tarts. Blueberry Pop-Tarts are actually a little dull. They're super sweet, but they're not overly flavorful, if that makes a lot of sense. There is also a bit of that sweet pastry component throughout this cup of coffee, so that goes in line with the blueberry Pop-Tart. So yeah, again, can definitely see the resemblance, but giving kudos to the coffee for being better than blueberry Pop-Tarts actually are. Day 9, coffee progressively getting better, and that was very much the case. This coffee definitely improved with every single day. So want to note that if you watch the Lady Bermudez review, you'll know the Lady Bermudez had a funk early on in the coffee for us, but it died down after a couple days. This coffee never had any sort of funk. That's why we had a better first impression of this coffee than we had of the Lady Bermudez. The Lady Bermudez just rapidly improved. It went from this is getting better to oh my god, this is the most amazing coffee we have reviewed. This coffee was increasing incrementally as well, getting better, getting better, getting better. Again, the strong, sweet floral blueberry, still trying to discern exactly what it was, and we did settle eventually on that kind of blueberry lavender flavor that we really liked. Yeah, we're going to play around with some other brew methods, V60, just kind of see if we might get something a little different, but no, this coffee was definitely that blueberry lavender forward. And continued on day 13, the coffee was settling, which we really, really liked. So it was a very overly dominant blueberry flavor to the coffee, but it just became slightly more toned down, which was great. It made the balance of the blueberry flavor note in the coffee much more palatable, much more enjoyable. I won't say that it was overbearing too much at the start, but just having it settle down ever so slightly was a really positive way for this coffee to go. And yeah, could still experience some peach and vanilla, but the blueberry was start, middle, finish of this coffee. You really have to think about those other flavor notes to kind of get them. Day 15, coffee continuing to settle down. Really, really consistent cup of coffee. Again, another one of those amazing Manhattan coffees that just gets better day by day and remains consistent. And day 17, which was the best day of the coffee, and when we stopped taking notes, having the immense floral blueberry settle into a nicely balanced point in this coffee. Sharp vanilla, prominent yellow fruits, but again, it's just overly dominated by those blueberry notes, which are very, very enjoyable floral blueberry notes. All right, let's go ahead and put up the tasting wheel so you can see what we are getting. And this is the second coffee that has received a level 5 on 4 different areas. So the finish, again, is another level 5, sweetness level 5, and the berry fruit level 5. Of course, the blueberries were very notable and prominent. And I have no shame and I have no problem putting the florals at level 5 because I insist that this is a floral blueberry that I'm getting from this cup of coffee. So I will happily put the florals at level 5 for whatever this floral component in this coffee is. I think maybe the best descriptor that I would give it is a craft blueberry Pop-Tart. So a better version of a blueberry Pop-Tart, as those are kind of trendy right now, with a floral component in it, and I think that that would go really well with this cup of coffee. Yeah, other things worth noting, stone fruit, level 3, ever so slight bit of saltiness and bitterness, and the bitterness was kind of like a blueberry bitterness, so not like a coffee bitterness. Just wanted to note that. Body level 3, cleanliness level 3. You know, as the coffee has aged, that's gone up, so I think maybe even today it could probably be a level 4. So the coffee, a lot of the aspects of this coffee are definitely improving and getting better as this coffee is aging. Here on day 27, coffee is probably the best it's been too. A lot of these flavors have settled so nicely and it has made this cup such a beautiful cup of coffee. It is a really, really beautiful cup of coffee. All right, so my overall thoughts and impressions of this coffee. This coffee is every bit as transcendent as the Lady Bermudez. It is just as well done, it is just as impressive, and what it comes down to is preference. If you like blueberry flavor notes a little better, like a blueberry floral flavor note a little better, then this will be the better coffee for you. If you like peach gummies a little better, then the Lady Bermudez will be the better coffee for you. So for me, it's actually an easy winner. I like the Lady Bermudez a lot better, and this coffee is, again, just as good, but I just liked the flavor of the other coffee better. Each one has their own unique, distinct flavor that is very notable and just different from all other coffees you have tried. Like, all of us have had coffees that taste like blueberries before, but you've never had a coffee that tastes this distinctly blueberry, this different, unique sort of blueberry. So transcendent in every aspect of the word, just as much as the Lady Bermudez was. Very good cup of coffee, enjoyed every drop of it, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the way I'll leave this review. If you've by chance tried this coffee, love to know your thoughts and opinions of it, as well as I'm sure this coffee will receive just as much notoriety as the Lady Bermudez did. If you're enjoying the content, give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. This right here has been a review of the Luna Bermudez Advanced Fermentation Processed Colombian Geisha from Manhattan Coffee Roasters. Thank you for watching.